Have you ever snapped at somebody and immediately thought, whoa, why did I just do that? What was I thinking? Hi, I'm Dr. Trung Ngo. My team and I specialize in complex chronic illnesses and resilience. In this video channel, I'd like to delve into these type of situations that happen in our daily lives. I'll share real stories of everyday life, and using the science of resilience as well as my personal and professional experience, I'll explore different ways of looking at things so that we can open up more choices and possibilities for ourselves and others. It's really interesting how many traps we have in our mind that causes us to be stuck. One time I was playing tennis with my sons at a local park. Some people were already using the court beside us before we arrived. After a while, a third group came along and wanted to use the court. Now, the park rules are posted on the fence, and they state that nobody should have to wait for more than 30 minutes for a court. Well, 30 minutes goes by, and the people in the first court are still there, even though they should be the first ones to leave. So I say to them, "Excuse me, are you almost done?" Because those people are waiting. In my mind, I was planning to be courteous, because if they said, "We just want to play for a few more minutes," I would have been, "Go ahead, my sons and I are done anyway." But one of the guys in that court says with this thick European accent, "Thank you for the reminder. We know the rules." Immediately, my face tightens up. And the first thought that came to mind was, wow, this guy really sucks at tennis. Whoa, where did that come from? I was curious why my mind automatically did that. So I took a moment to analyze it. And I remember that as a kid, I didn't fit in very much. I was a Vietnamese immigrant in Victoria, British Columbia, which is a mostly white community. And my family moved around a lot, so I wasn't able to establish long-term friendships. Many of my peers were quite kind, but some would mock me, like, "Did your mom make those clothes for you?" Well, yeah, she actually did, but the comment was still hurtful. And after that comment, they would walk away from me, leaving me isolated. That was the killer. During recess, I just walked around the school by myself. During class field trips, I would have to sit next to the teacher because nobody else wanted to sit next to me. And I associated that mocking tone with being left out, not belonging. But nobody likes to think of themselves as trash. So I thought to myself, no. They're not isolating you because they hate you or because you're garbage. They're isolating you because they're not as smart as you are. And they're just jealous. Now, I was the top student in my class at that time, so it made what I was saying to myself believable. Over time, that became a habit. So the moment somebody spoke to me with this mocking tone, I would immediately try to criticize them in my mind. Fast forward to the present, and this guy says, "We know the rules." And my mind immediately tries to find everything that's wrong with him. In the past, this would completely take over me for hours at least. And when my wife or kids would say something to me, I'd snap at them because they were distracting me from preserving my own self-worth. And then they would react, and then things would just be bad. But now I'm aware of this. So I took my time to get out of my head and ground myself to the trees and the birds. And I realized that this threat of not belonging wasn't even real anymore. I do belong with my wife, my kids, and some very good friends. And I don't know what he meant by that. He had a thick accent. That might just be how he talks. And he's not part of any social circle I know, and I'll probably never see him again, so it's not really important to me. I allowed myself to just feel that sensation and let it pass through me, and after a couple of minutes, I was present for my wife and kids again. I'm sure you've all had this happen. An event happens that causes us to be trapped in our minds, and then something just takes over our thoughts and actions. And it might cause damage to ourselves and others, but we definitely lose time from being with the things and activities that we love. It doesn't have to be like that, though. There are skills that we can develop within us and resources that we can tap into around us that can help us free our minds and bodies so that we can live fuller lives. Please join me on a journey to explore all of these possibilities.